Hey there, listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Die by the Sword podcast. Before we get into the episode, just want to give a quick shout out to the guys over at Midnight Syndicate. You can check out their music at www.midnightsyndicate.com. Also, if you want to add some spooky music to your own games, go ahead and check out the ambient sounds over at Sword Coast Soundscapes. Check them out at youtube.com/Sword Coast Soundscapes. All right, quick intro from me this week. Let's get into the show.
So, I swear, right after we stopped recording last week, it hit me that, you know how every book of this adventure is supposed to be a different horror theme, a different trope? This is Frankenstein.
I believe it's pronounced Frankenstein.
But am I right, Gary?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I mean, it's a golem, so somebody made it.
And you made a joke last week, Richard, and it totally went over my head.
Yeah, I said I'd already read this book.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like way subtle. It was layers upon layers.
Yeah, because it was like, he did some good things and he did some bad things. Just like Frankenstein.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
So I wonder if he can speak, or if we're just going to get yummy noises.
Yummy noise.
He can only sing words that are in the song Putting on the Ritz.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's canon now. So
Go with it.
think how you're going to do that.
No.
Go with it, Gary.
On the spot,
No.
we have changed the script.
Well, I refuse.
So it looks like at least the beginning of this book is going to be a lot of talking and rolling checks.
I'd like to apologize to anyone who wanted fights.
We're going to have verbal fights. It's like the character in Capcom versus Marvel.
Marvel vs. Capcom, Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
I like how,
Objection!
you know, it's like addition. It's the same either way. But you still had to correct her.
Yeah. Yes, I noted it. I filed it away for future fights.
I'm just, for the audience's sake, there is an official title and there's an official arrangement of the title.
Oh my goodness.
He's not wrong.
Objection.
In nerd, he's right.
Overruled.
So, yeah, I don't expect we're going to have a...
Nerd, he's right. You like the nerd language?
Uh-huh.
So,
Honestly, I couldn't remember it, so I'm fine with being corrected on it. What was that game you played this weekend at Dave & Buster's? That arcade game with the...
Time Crisis.
Yeah.
I love Time Crisis.
That was a lot of fun.
Time Crisis is a lot of fun. I was talking to my friend. Time Crisis is great because it's really respectful of its players. You get a lot of game time for one
One
coin,
coin.
one insert.
One coin.
See-
There ain't
Yeah.
no coins anymore.
Well, not at David
Token,
Buster's.
whatever.
Yeah. See,
One
you,
swipe.
you were talking fighting games and going with arcade. I thought you were going to go with Tekken.
Tekken.
No, she was thinking that because
What about Virtual Fighter?
Virtual Fighter.
No, she was thinking that because the characters in Time Crisis 5 are ludicrous.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
character designs.
Also, I don't know what Tekken is.
It's another fighting game.
It is my least favorite one.
See,
Yeah.
a fighting game is my favorite genre because the games are quick and easy, and I got next.
I like
You can switch in and out or do like a tournament setting or however you want to do it.
I like Mortal Kombat because I liked the sexy girl costumes that the girls have.
Mortal Kombat.
They don't have those anymore.
I've played every iteration of Mortal Kombat except the newest one.
I'm going to say Cassie Cage, that was, Sonya Blade, those were sexy costumes. They're all sexy costumes.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're not there anymore?
They dialed it back.
Even that bee lady.
No, they've brought it back up.
Oh, they did? That was just one game they did that?
I get.
guess.
What did they do?
What do you mean they
them
put
in-
clothes on them?
Yeah.
or-
They didn't want to objectify women anymore, so they put more clothes on them.
Even though, it's women fighting against men in a fighting game, it's the ultimate form of equal rights.
It is.
I want to play. Let's stop recording and just go play. Like, go to the CC's Pizza, and we'll play Mortal Kombat, and then we'll play the Simpsons game.
Oh, the Simpsons game. I love that one. I was always Lisa because I like the whip.
I like the vacuum.
He's like Bart.
I was Homer because I liked his stupid animation where he swing his arms around.
Oh
that
man!
one. And Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time.
Ooh,
which
we played
beat.
that. Yeah, we beat that. We were all at free play, and that game was not as much fun.
No, it was not as
It
much
was
fun.
exhausting.
Oh man, we were
I
so
loved it.
tired.
I loved it so much.
I loved it as a kid too, and playing it, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this game is not very good.
My arm hurt after playing
We
it.
all
from
had
punching
tennis
buttons
elbow.
and-
Like We all had like arcade elbow afterwards.
Nostalgia definitely colored that one.
Yeah.
And that arcade setup is not well set up for larger people.
No, you realize it's all arcades are set up for kids because
Yes.
it's like 4 adults cannot stand around this machine
No.
comfortably.
We were kind of squeezing and
We all had like one arm in. It was a mess.
And then you're trying to put your beer up on top of that. It's just a mess.
But we did beat it.
we did beat it. And we saved all the beers. We didn't drop any.
No, it was
Yay.
good.
So enough about talking about other games, as we always do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this game, we're apologizing for not having a lot of combat, at least at the beginning of this.
See, you apologize, but I'm looking forward to this. Criminal Justice was my original major, so this is really exciting, this whole crime drama type setting.
No, it'll be fun. It'll be different. But here's my theory. Starting out, no information. I'm betting the cult is responsible for the murders, and we're going to have to go find the critical piece of evidence, and doing that is going to involve fighting a lot of cult members.
I think there's going to be a shooter in the courtroom, and we're going to have to like do a reflex save to jump in front of the judge.
Oh, it's like one of those, if the verdict goes wrong, then the cultists just show up and start killing everyone.
Maybe. These are our theories.
This
Right
is
in.
very Illuminati of you guys.
Yeah, get me a little later. We can talk about it.
He's talking about the cultists. I'm just thinking.
Also, I'm not making fun of the Illuminati. I'm sorry, Beyonce.
I'm just thinking of dramatic courtroom scenes.
Is she an Illuminati?
She asserts it.
Everyone
she?
Everyone says that she is.
It's all pop stars, right? Or
Yes,
in the
no, it's anybody
Illuminati?
who's famous.
They're symbols, Mom. I can show you the websites later. But yeah, no, Gary, I'm also very excited about this. I knowing Paizo, they tend to have some sort of other mechanic they like to bring in times like this. What would you say, guys? It's almost like mini games.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it kind of like in Jade Regent with the caravan mechanics that they bring in.
Or ship-to-ship combat.
Ship-to-ship
Yeah.
combat.
Oh, in the Reign of Winter game that we played, the Brawl.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they had a caravan mechanic in there.
What
Oh,
do they
no,
call
that
it?
was just going
The
through.
riot mechanics.
Yeah, barroom
Barroom brawl,
fight
something like that.
Yeah.
mechanics. That was fun.
was
That
fun.
was terrifying because our muscle cough Gary was not there, and so it was 3 casters had to survive a barroom brawl.
All right, you get to roll a CMB check or a stealth check. I am a witch.
See, I let you guys have the fun that time. I stepped back for the day, and you got to have fun.
Yeah, sure. That's why you did it. No, it was really interesting. So I am excited for this, and I've been watching a lot of. I know I'm super up to date in the world. I've been watching a lot of Grimm lately, which kind of fits with this.
I thought we weren't
does.
going to say things that would date the podcast.
You can watch Grimm
it just dates.
later.
It just dates me, not the podcast. But so it combines both things that we're going to be dealing with here. Of
Fantasy and law enforcement.
yes, exactly. Thank you.
Fantasy, law enforcement, fairy tale creatures.
Exactly, it's perfect.
It is perfect.
So I'm excited, and I've watched the Law and Order and the NCIS, and
Well, I'm gonna have to lean on y'all for this because I don't watch TV. So it's not like a principled stance I take. I just find it boring, so I don't.
Oh, my
It's
God.
the commercials.
Yeah, it's largely the commercial, and I don't get to decide what I
Hey,
watch.
Disney Plus don't have commercials.
This
That's
is true.
true.
yeah, Disney. Richard's a real big Disney fan.
Yeah.
I don't hate them for what they've become.
You'd probably like at least the Star Wars stuff.
Baby Yoda.
Mandalorian is really good.
It's so good.
That I've heard. I do want to see that.
Gary and Philip, since you've seen The Mandalorian, I've only seen the Baby Yoda memes. Do they ever show the whites of his eyes?
No, because he doesn't
he
have
doesn't
them.
really have
He
them.
does in the movie, though.
Well, this is a different puppet.
This is what
Well, Yoda-
confuses me.
Yoda is also like 800 years old,
Also,
if not
yes,
more.
this
So
is-
did his
isn't
skull
Yoda.
shrink back?
No, this is not Yoda.
This is not Yoda.
Oh, spoilers.
It's not a spoiler.
I have a different question. Mm-hmm. Did they bring up the fact that it's against the law for a Mandalorian to run out of ammo?
Spoiler heavy.
Spoiler heavy.
All right, well, I was just wondering about the eyes, because that's been bothering me when they compare old Yoda,
Old Yoda.
old
It's not yoga.
old Yogi Bear,
Old Pilates.
Old Pilates.
old people Pilates.
Pilates. He's the one that crucified Jesus, right?
Pontius Pilates.
Oh man, that explains his outfit. Jeez. So yeah, I'm a fan of crime drama, so we'll Mom and I are avid NCIS watchers, so we'll drag you through this,
I
Richard.
love Law and Order. I love it so much.
Law and Order SPU, Special Pathfinder Unit.
Oh, good. I was like, that was good, Gary.
That's good.
That was good. I was like,
Hero
where's he
card.
going with that?
No, don't give him none of those.
It's like, I haven't seen that one.
It's a new one.
I've never heard of it.
Now I'm thinking about, can all the NPCs, we have to have one that's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
And
Another one that's
Detective
Ice-T.
Green.
Ice-T.
yeah.
Do you have a... Oh, wait, we already have a Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah.
We do have...
We could have a doppelganger.
We need to have Christopher Maloney
I was planning on...
for multiple reasons.
I was planning on actually, my outfit is actually going to be a pantsuit. I set the Mariska Hargitay
Yeah.
in her leather jacket, red shirt, badge on her belt.
Perfect. Ooh, can Christopher Maloney play the barrister?
Maybe. I can't do his voice, though.
Yeah, I mean... It's
I don't know that his voice is that
distinctive. Yeah.
distinctive. Munch would be better.
Yeah.
Oh, Munch. Man, I haven't watched Law & Order SV in a long time. I don't...
Or Dan Florek.
Can you do a Jerry Orbach?
No.
Can you do a Vincent D'Onofrio?
No.
You
That
could
guy?
do CSI.
No,
I mean,
I'm talking to the
CSI is another one.
I'm saying you're a redhead, so you could absolutely do... What's his name? David Carradine? Or...
That's...
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know.
David Carradine is not in Law and Order.
That's Kung Fu.
Okay, yes, no, that's what I get them mixed up. Their names are so, I mean, exactly the same. Carradine.
I don't know who you're talking about.
He's the redhead, like
You mean,
Gary's
like
the redhead.
CSI Miami? That
Yes,
guy?
yes. He does
He wasn't-
the thing where he takes his sunglasses off and says a pun.
Oh, that's the guy the meme's based off of.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's how Richard gets in the conversation. Oh, the memes.
David Caruso.
Caruso, not
There we go.
Carradine.
Sam Watterson.
You could have said Robinson. I
Oh,
could've said
Sam
that.
Watterson. Okay,
Jeff
yes,
McCoy.
Sam Watterson. Oh my God, I was gonna bring up a classic Saturday Night Live bit, but I don't think anybody here would get it.
My mom might.
The one with the
I'm old
robot.
enough.
The one with the robots. The Old Glory Insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They take our medicine for fuel.
Chris Noth. How can we forget Chris Noth?
Oh, man.
That's old school Law and Order.
Okay. So,
Now that we've nerded out on...
man, we really run the
dramas.
gauntlet. We're just nerds.
Benjamin Bratt. We forgot about Benjamin Bratt.
We're just nerds.
And Angie Harmon. She was in the original too.
Oh, shut down the IMDb, Mom.
No,
It never ends. We are 18 minutes
Fred
in.
Thompson.
That's the senator.
Yeah.
Or is he a representative?
And Fred Thompson was also in another movie we had spoken about last week, Ghostbusters 2.
What is he in Ghostbusters
Wasn't he
2?
the big bad guy in the picture?
He was Vigo?
No.
No, that's the bad
That's
guy in the
Vigo.
picture.
Yeah,
he
it
is
was-
Vigo.
No, it wasn't.
No, it
him.
wasn't him.
Was it not Fred Thompson?
No.
No, that...
I've always in my head, it's always been confused with him.
I can see why you'd get that from the face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can,
with silver
I can
hair.
see a resemblance.
Yeah, but you're absolutely incorrect.
Yeah, no. I mean, can you imagine Vigo with that southern accent?
He's an actor.
Yeah.
Is he a great actor?
Yeah.
Is Vigo.
He's Vigo, yeah.
Why am I dripping with goo?
Oh, that's my favorite one. Why am I sipping school?
So his best line is,
So many movies I like.
You like that movie?
We should start a separate podcast where we
It's a
talk about
terrible
those.
movie, but I like
so
it.
bad, but I love
Yes.
it.
So, what do we need to do? We got a little to-do list last time.
we do.
We well, let's we're talking all this law crap. Let's back it up. We were returning our books to the judge.
Yeah.
Or no, we were
Well,
returning our
one
books.
book. It was one book
Well,
for the judge, right?
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so
She's
we-
just doing a little summary of what went before.
We were returning our books, and
So-
we got taken to Embereth Daramid's.
Yeah, we were initially told to bring all 4 to her, and then she was like, "Nah, I only really want one of these. You could bring the other 3 back to the library."
Yeah, and in there, on our way there, we were learning about the Beast of Lepidstadt, and that he's been caught, and he was found in the library.
With the candlestick.
Professor Plum is now dead.
Yep.
So, and the Beast has been around for 20 years, is what my notes say, and he's been blamed for basically everything that's ever gone wrong in this town. Cows, milk going sour, things like that. And that's what happens, right? But he's been caught. He was found in the library, Amberith Daramid is a judge. She is the magistrate over the case for the beast, and she has asked us to help.
She said she's concerned about it being a fair trial, which is very understandable given the giant wicker wooden effigy outside that they're ready to set on fire.
Yes.
After his fair trial,
After his fair trial.
After the fair trial.
where he's convicted.
So she has asked us to come in and help research this since we've got this external perspective, not the same heightened bias coming in. Mm-hmm. So we need to go find the barrister, Gustav Koppel.
Gustav Koppel.
Couple, not couple.
I wrote couple.
I kept reading it as Capel.
That's a city.
As a city very nearby to us.
That is very Texas of you. And we know that the beast is being housed in the courthouse or wherever. Do the barrister and the beast, like, are they in the same building, different parts?
Yes.
Okay. Also, we have to go register as barristers, also in the courthouse. In addition, we have to go return our books to the library where the crime scene is.
Yeah, so I thought that the most efficient order of operations would be go register, then talk to the barrister, then talk to the beast, then return the books to the library, and also investigate the library while we're there.
Sounds good to me. I have one more question. Beast of Lepidstadt, what do we know so far? Obviously, we're going to learn more. We know he's been around for 20 years. He's a flesh golem.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he's a magic construct?
Well, that's what I was about to ask is, what's a flesh golem? Does anyone know in this group?
Roderick knows. I think I might have already rolled, but it is a golem that is made of flesh.
Okay, and so golems are created magically?
Yes, you just take a lump of material. And this is a fun aside. Golems, in this lore, they are a wizard's defense against other wizards, because they're created in such a way that they're immune to magic, which makes them the perfect defense against other wizards.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's a good factoid.
Are they related? How does a Pathfinder golem compare to a Jewish golem?
I mean, they're based on the same lore.
Mm-hmm. So in the Jewish lore, that type of golem has, you like put a scroll in their mouth, and it's to do very specific commands. How much of that would we know in this world? I'm kind of trying to figure out how to separate my metagaming versus in-gaming.
Yeah.
I don't know that off the top of my head about how specifically how they're created.
Or just how they work. Like, can you can give them commands? We talked about, can they talk? That's another question I have that I don't expect an answer to right now is, who made this flesh golem?
Yeah.
Who made Horus? He has to be at least 20 years old. He was 1 year old when he made Horus.
Gary responded with a shrug for the audience.
Okay. I missed it.
He responded with another shrug. Basically.
Also not visible on the
he
radio.
was going to answer for real, and then he just
Okay. I think I have all my preliminary questions out of the way. Governor. I don't know why I said governor. Okay.
You're just
Your
getting in
Honor.
the zone.
I'm Your Honor. That's what Your Honorable GM. So,
This is funny because I served on the jury of a municipal court for a traffic violation recently. You know, they always tell you this, and I can second this. Don't represent yourself, because it's not even... It's not even like, oh, well, you're stupid. It's because you spend the entire time with the judge correcting you. Like, no, that's not the time for this. No, you can't do that right now. No, this isn't the time for you to do. You're only asking questions of the witness. You're not presenting your own argument.
so this is exactly what we're about to do in this game.
Well, I hope one of us has knowledge nobility.
I have all knowledges. I have bardic knowledge.
We're going to count on Renly then.
You also have the barrister there.
We could just ask him.
What do we do now? Well, I mean, technically, we're barristers too once we get registered.
Not
so
yet,
we'll be on equal.
Is it like the
ranking with him.
Universal Life Church, where you just get
Yes.
Yeah,
ordained?
pretty much. I think you're right.
Precisely.
I don't think that just because we get registered means we now know anything.
The knowledge gets imparted onto
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
through the process.
I don't think it's a magical... I could be wrong.
Well, this is something I know a couple of weeks ago we were
Equip my ring of courtroom knowledge.
perfect. Well, this is something
That's
I know
what we
we
need.
I know we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago of what standards would be in a magical society as far as like rules and faux pas. Oh, it was the horse thing, the phantom horse. But I was thinking, and I bet they haven't all been listed out, but like I wonder in a magical world what kind of safeguards you would have to have in a courtroom to prevent like compulsion spells being cast and things like that. You know, like cell phone blockers.
Good point.
They cast Zone of Truth.
Right. Duh.
I imagine
Magic is the answer.
I imagine it would depend on the quality, the tier of the court. Like, I'm sure at the highest courts, it definitely have all that stuff, but like at the little tiny, hokey, small town courts, probably not so much.
Maybe all the bailiffs are also magic users that are just have like detect magic going.
I just thought of something. We compared this to Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. But is it really To Kill a Mockingbird?
Ooh, good point.
What?
Falsely accused.
It's both. Well, now we have another actor we have to have in here.
This is true.
Can you do a Gregory Peck?
No.
No one could do a Gregory Peck. He was
See,
perfect.
Gregory Peck, he was perfect. Yeah.
I don't do impersonations.
I do characterizations.
Happen to sound like Liam Neeson when I do Father Grimber's voice. That is not me doing an impersonation of Liam Neeson.
That's just an accident.
That's just an accident.
That's funny.
I wouldn't be surprised if his cousin is somewhere in Lepidstadt.
Liam Neeson's cousin?
Yeah.
He might be. It's
He has a
close
very
enough.
extended
Well,
family.
I want you to use that voice again of that one guy from last week.
The deeper voice. I don't remember what I did.
I don't remember either, but I liked it. We'll have to listen to the tape later. Okay. Enough talking. I think not enough talking. We're going to be talking a lot this episode. So, obviously, we're going to continue talking. This is going to be a talk-heavy episode. But I am ready to move forward and have pretend action with said talking. We are in the judge's house.
Yes.
We've got a chest of books. We going to take that with us to the courtroom?
No, we were going to leave that at Embrith Dermid's house with her permission until we came back and we were ready to bring them to the library.
On to the courtroom place. No, courthouse. There's probably a courtroom in there.
Probably,
but-
you know.
Do we have to register as barristers?
Yes.
Well, volunteer defenders.
Is there a fee? It's got to be a fee.
There's
government.
always a fee.
It's court costs.
They'll just take it out of your pay later.
So we do we get paid?
Interestingly enough, it's 100 platinum. That's exactly what you owe.
Do we get paid for doing this?
Well, Judge Dermid said that she will do
Double it.
double and a half.
Oh, right.
Because of the
Right,
Because I negotiated for
Negotiation.
50% more.
Oh, yeah, you did. Okay, so we walk into the courthouse and we go over to the little placard that shows all the floors where the DMV is and then the tax office. And then we actually don't see the room we need listed anywhere.
It wouldn't be the DMV.
And there's one fat officer.
Oh, you're right. Not the DMV, the title, like the license plate place.
I mean, it might be like the DHV, Department of Horse Vehicles.
Yeah. I got that.
And there's like the one fat town guard whose job is just to sit there and point you in the direction.
Yes, but
He
he's
doesn't
asleep.
even talk. He's eating donuts.
And he's asleep. So, like, while he's asleep.
Yeah.
He's eating donuts while he's asleep.
He's like Homer Simpson.
Yes.
There's just drool coming out of his
Donuts.
mouth.
So yes, you go to the large, squat building in the center of the town that is dominated by an enormous clock tower that overlooks the town square.
What time is it?
After 2 o'clock.
Great.
Boy, we just laid in bed today, huh?
No, we were coming into town.
We had to say our prayers and
Oh,
whatnot.
that's right. We haven't even spent a night. I'm sorry.
Right.
The real me has slept since then. Play us haven't. Okay, got it.
All right.
2 o'clock.
So,
Yeah.
2 o'clock on the clock tower.
2
Continue.
o'clock. So you make your way inside. You see the fat guard drooling with a powdered donut in his hand.
Might be a kolache.
It wouldn't be a sausage roll.
No. You look for the sign to figure out which way to go. You find your way to the county clerk office.
They say out for lunch.
Just let
Be back in 15.
They got one of those little
Yeah.
dials
back
on the
there.
door.
So you wait the 15 minutes. They finally come back.
20 minutes later.
20 minutes later. You walk up and say you want to register as volunteer defender. So she says, okay, great. That's wonderful. Fill out these forms and bring them back.
30 minutes later.
You filled out the forms, bring them back. Oh, I'm sorry. Those were the wrong forms.
No, I'm sorry. These are the old forms.
These are the old ones. I need you to fill out this addendum form and the new form.
Do you have a quill I can borrow? This one broke, and it's leaking.
I want it to be on a chain. Like a mage hand holds it.
I was going to say it was like the flower pot beside you. You pull out
Yes.
the flower. It's an actual flower. It's not
Oh, that's
the fake
cool.
one.
Oh, man.
That's on a chain.
And this is when you guys realize that while Zenobia can read, she holds her pencil like a
Like a toddler?
like a
fist.
toddler. Yeah, she's holding it in her fist. She's just learning the writing part of this.
Hmm.
Doesn't have much finesse.
And Vivian will help her with that.
I imagine she's like, no, I'll do it.
Vivian's a good teacher. She'll do it non-patronizingly.
Show me how to hold my pencil so it doesn't look like I'm attacking the stabbing
Yeah,
the
and
paper.
she's going to say, we're going to go get Chinese food later, and this is really going to help with your with your dexterity in your fingers. I can't think of what the country is.
Tianjia.
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 We're going to go get Tianjia food
Tian
later.
food.
Tian food.
I've eaten that food before with the funny sticks.
Yes.
I don't like it. It tastes like brown to me.
Okay, so we fill all that out.
Fills the form. It takes about an hour, which should have only taken like 5 minutes to fill out this form and turn it in. But you know how the court works. So anyway, you are registered. She gives you your name badges that you can wear in the courthouse to
Oh
be
my goodness.
recognized
They
as
have
volunteer
lanyards?
defenders. Sure.
Now, they are going to ask for these back when we're done, so be aware of that.
That they're spelled to where you can't leave the building with them on.
Oh, you got to put them in like the basket. Fun. Oh man.
How do we prove? Oh, they were on the list. We just have to say we're on the list.
Right.
And it's magical. We
Yeah.
put our magical thumbprint up to it and they'll appear or something like that.
Little green light shows.
Ta-da, it's here.
Oh, that's so. I am enjoying like dealing with repressed rage at the bureaucratic system. Also, while playing this game.
But
Right.
by creating all the impediments that we've ever encountered.
Yeah, it's fun to imagine them
Yes, it is.
instead of actually experiencing them.
You know, the only bad thing I've ever experienced in like a DMV or anything like that is they made me put my phone away.
That's never
That's it.
happened
It's
to
not
me.
that bad.
It's in the courtroom, yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I know with like courtrooms and stuff, you usually have to, go through the metal detectors and all that.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
if there was a metal detector in this world with all the
nobody would
armor
get in.
and the weapons that everybody.
That's what I was contemplating if we were even allowed to come in with all of our weapons. Like, just like
Clanking
clank,
as we
clank,
are.
clank. Give us our bureaucratic permissions now.
They would probably, allow you to keep your armor on, but turn in any weapons that you
Vivian
have.
comes in with this enormous glaive. The guard that's asleep, he just has like a pile of weapons around him. No one's looking at them. Like
Nope.
they're just it's the
You gotta leave them here.
it's the honor system.
Honor system.
Yeah.
All right, so great. We're now registered. Oh, this is so exciting! And Vivian's like admiring her badge.
And I said, hey, look at this. And I yank at it. It breaks at the back. You know,
The lanyard strings.
Hey, look, and you could put it back
Oh,
together.
Vivian, Snowbias, you're so strong.
No, look, it's meant to break. They're very health and safety conscious here.
You can't be strangled
Can't
with
be
these.
strangled with them. They can't be used as a weapon against us.
Boy, I'm glad we're being paid for this.
I like how his accent changed a little bit. Boy, I'm sure glad we're getting paid for this.
Darn.
He's getting lazy, so the country twang is coming in.
So,
South Ustalov.
all right, so no, that's Vivian's voice. So, which way to the barrister's office? Also, what's a barrister? I think that one hurt Richard. He twinged a little bit.
I twitch because I don't have the knowledge to check that.
Are they the people that
I do.
that make coffee?
Yes.
Aren't they the
He's
Yeah,
preparing coffee, and he's the one that's defending the
I think-
barista.
I think you're right, Zenobia. That seems like an odd double duty, though.
Well, not really, because I think you have to have a lot of coffee to
to
win
be
a
a
case.
barrister? Yeah.
So it makes sense
I think it's probably really boring compared to what we do, so you need a lot of coffee.
to not be bored.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we're used to the adrenaline rush of
We were
Fighting.
explaining this to Richard's brother over the weekend, how because he's a mechanic, so he spends his days like working on machinery and out there doing stuff. And he said, "He's like, I don't know if I could handle a desk job. Like, I can't handle all the thinky stuff." And we're like, "No, dude, you're smart enough that you could do this." He's like, "Oh, but I might be bored just sitting at my desk all day." And Richard's like, "That's why you go get coffee." And I was like, "Exactly."
It's like, I'm tired of looking at the screen. I'm going to go make my 4th cup of coffee.
Oh,
And
it's
talk
empty.
to some people while I'm walking around.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta wait for it to cool.
Hey.
All right, so after you get your badges, you look at how pretty they are and how much they go with your armor.
Yes.
And how safety conscious they are.
Yeah, exactly. The court clerk just points that way through the courtroom and says, "Room 21.
You have
you.
a very lovely demeanor.
Thank you."
I imagine that lady from Monsters Inc.
Yeah, that's who she was.
Yeah.
Number one.
She's my avatar.
I've got my eye on you.
Roz.
Roz,
Roz.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. So great. I meant to say, okay, great. Oh, great.
Oh,
We're
great.
playing this adventure. All
Have you
right.
done something with your hair?
Oh, that's taupe.
So you make your way through the door, go up the stairs toward the courtroom. It's now on the second level.
Okay.
So this is where the courtroom is. You can see on the opposite side of the courtroom there are several rooms off to the side, and you see the numbers on them, and you find room 21.
I already forgot the number, so I'm glad you said it again. I was like, room 8.
Nope, not this one. Oh, bathroom.
Oh, there's a lady changing. Ah!
Room 21.
Now you're being brought up on charges.
It's just a trap room. It's an entrapment room. There's a lady getting changed, and there's drugs in there, and it's just to catch people.
Where Catherine Zeta-Jones is going through the laser beams. Like that movie Entrapment.
Yes.
So this one is also clearly marked. Once you get closer to it, it says defense chamber. So this would be where the defense would be preparing their case.
I imagine that's where we need to go.
So we knock on the door, dramatically.
Yes?
Is this Mr.
Couple?
Crowell?
Koppel.
Couple,
Koppel.
come in.
All right, we open the door.
Is it Barrister Koppel or is it Mr. Koppel? How do we address you?
Barrister Couple is fine.
Oh, so he has a stutter?
Yes.
Hello, Barrister Koppel. Koppel.
Couple.
We have been assigned by Embereth Daramid to assist you in defending the beast.
That is good news. I'm a bit over my head.
Do you not know how to argue a case?
I know how, but I don't know that there is anything that can help him.
Why is that? Is he not getting a fair trial?
I want to find everything that I can to help him, but the trial has already begun, and I don't have time to go and investigate.
What are you doing instead?
I am preparing the statements that I have here.
For the audience, his body language is perfect. You can't
Gary's-
see it, but it's good.
Gary is a professional actor, and you're doing an awesome job right now.
Thank you.
His face is a little red.
I feel really bad for this poor guy.
So hard. This is a cruel world.
Well, it is Galarian.
Yeah.
I have interviewed the main witnesses of the three cases that are being presented against the beast, but I have not, of course, been there to see these locations myself.
So 3 cases. What are they?
The 3 crimes that are currently being discussed are the murder of 10 citizens in the village of Morast a year ago, the slaying of 6 children in the farming community of Herstog 7 months ago, and an arson attack 4 months ago at the sanctuary on Carb Isle,
Dear.
which also resulted in the deaths of Dr. Brada and patients, and the blinding of the doctor's assistant, Carl.
So we were right. Carl. I love that medieval name, Carl.
It's spelled with a K, if that helps.
Let me just adjust my notes for the K.
Oh dear, those are quite heinous crimes. But on first impressions, there doesn't seem to be a pattern to any of these. You know, besides the death thing. But,
Other than wanton destruction.
But, you know, it doesn't sound like a serial killer. Or something like that.
It doesn't have a profile.
Correct.
Do you think there's more than one person?
I don't know.
It could be anything.
I'm new to this whole law thing, 5 minutes ago. But do you think that he's innocent?
I don't know for sure. All of the stories and evidence that the prosecution has looks bad for him, but after seeing him in his cell, I don't see him as just a beast. I want there to be a fair trial, but I don't know that the justices will see it that way.
Is it up to the justices? Do you have jury trials, or is it brought down by a single judge?
It is up to the triumvirate of judges. There are 3.
And one of them's Magistrate Embreth.
Yes.
Barrister, I'm very curious. As we came across the town center, we saw a wicker man
Yes.
constructed.
Yes. The town, I believe, is looking for a scapegoat, and they are ready to convict him even without evidence.
Then why are we going through this? Why? Why?
Let me ask my next question. and then
Okay.
we can come back to that. When we were coming through town, I heard a townswoman say that the beast had helped her and done good things. Are there other people who have this impression who've been helped by him?
Yes, there's the families of those who capsized their canoe in the river that the beast allegedly helped. There are also reports from families who say their child had been returned to them after the child had gone missing for a few days.
Do the children, have they told their story?
They say the beast found them after they got lost in the woods and brought them home.
So, those are the witnesses to his good character.
Yeah.
What was said by the witnesses of the crimes?
That a beast went on a rampage and destroyed everything.
They said a beast. They didn't say the beast.
Yes.
So they don't... Did they give a description of the beast, or did they just blurt out what our friend looks like?
There have been varying descriptions of the beast.
And so all three cases had the same description?
No. Different descriptors. Some say no hair, some said dark hair, some said tall, some said more rotund.
But all three mentioned a beast rampaging.
Yes.
That is odd.
Well, again, it could be 3 different people that aren't this beast. Have there been any descriptions of these crimes that match the beast description?
The only stories that have matched have been the good stories and the case from Herstog.
Herstog, which one was that one?
That was the children.
Oh, the poor kids.
Ultimately, I'm more concerned with finding evidence to help the beast. But there is not much time.
You would say there's a time limit?
Yes. The trial has already begun. Preliminary evidence has already been presented. And we meet again tomorrow at 10 a.m. being discussed tomorrow in depth will be the case from Morast. These cases will be discussed one by one over the next 3 days. And that will be the last time to present new evidence.
What kind of evidence has been presented? Just testimony, or is there physical evidence?
Testimony, broken doors, things of that nature.
A broken door. That's it? A broken door? Anybody could have... I could have broken a door.
No, you couldn't.
I could.
Bitch, I might.
Oh, snap.
But combined with the witness testimonies, it is very
Compelling.
damning for the beast.
What is the schedule for the next 3 days? Which case is being discussed each day?
First case is Morast. Second case is Herstog. And the third is Carbisle.
And you said that's carved with a K.
I was just
Yes.
thinking that.
Along with... And the witness is Carl with a K.
Yes.
Oh, that's how we know that it's... what's the word? For in the setting. That's how we know it's contemporary.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Carl. C-A-R-L-K.
Karlk?
Karlk? That was a late night joke.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the people that say Stephen with a PH, and so they put P-H-T-E-V-E-N.
Steven.
Gotcha.
Stephen.
I get it now. It's funny.
So, Barrister, how was the beast captured?
He was found at the library on a rampage, but the guards were able to subdue him.
What was he rampaging against?
He was flipping tables and smashing things around the room. If you go to the library, you can easily see what he has done.
The books! We forgot about the books!
No, we didn't.
no,
They're
we
at the... We didn't forget about them.
No, but he said library, and it just reminded me we
Oh
need
my
to return
goodness.
these books.
I'm just imagining the scene
The
of like...
fines are just getting astronomical.
I'm imagining the scene of like the whole thing is in police tape and everything's destroyed and we just walk in with these three of us like, we want to return these.
You've obviously met with the beast. Oh, by the way, we came up with a name for him. Horace Bull. I think this will be good for the case because I think it'll help humanize him.
Perhaps.
So, Horace, you said you've met with him. Have you spoken to him? Has he spoken in return?
He speaks occasionally.
Anything interesting?
Nothing of note. I feel that if you can gain his trust, you will be able to talk to him.
Understood.
So it would be worth our time to check in on the beast. Since today...
Horace.
Yes. So since today is almost over, I recommend we...
Roderick, it's only 2:30.
Yes, but we did not get an early morning start. So I think we should go to Morass today. Then tomorrow, after the court proceedings, we can interview the beast. Or before.
I disagree. I would really like to speak with him today. He needs to know that people are fighting for him.
I agree. We need to speak to him.
How far is Morass from here?
It is roughly 12 miles to Morast.
So it's a 3-hour walk in itself, or 4-hour walk.
You can summon a horse. We could all get on it.
I already spent that spell today.
What time?
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting it's the same day.
What time do the court proceedings begin? Tomorrow.
10 a.m.
Oh, there's time. We could get back. If we leave.
What sort of evidence are you going to need to confront?
Anything physical or concrete that cannot be dismissed as hearsay.
Isn't the whole case hearsay?
Yes, Renly. So if we beat their hearsay with not hearsay, that means we win.
We have to disprove their reasonable doubt.
It's literally court.
Yeah.
Well, it's the inverse, because apparently they don't have the assumption of innocence.
I do have a request. If you are able to find this evidence, perhaps one of you could present it. It might go over better.
I vote for Vivian.
Oh, sorry, I was just like, oh, I'll have to buy a new outfit.
We'll buy you a court outfit.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so excited. Well, except for the fact that someone's life is on the line. That's very distressing. But absolutely, I would love to speak. I like talking.
There is a seamstress at the Temple of Shaylin here.
Temple of Shaylin?
That would be happy to help.
Oh, fabulous. Temple of Shaylin. Oh, I'm going home.
Vivian.
What?
I
Yes.
need you to focus.
What?
We
Yes.
will need your talents to question Horace before you go out shopping for clothes.
Well, obviously, Roderick, I know what my priorities are. Horace, then clothes.
You seemed far more excited about one than the other.
Well, one's not going to potentially be dead in 12 hours.
I mean, fashion dies all the time, honey.
I was going to try to make a joke, but yours is better.
That was really good. We are absolutely on board with helping with this situation. Assuming you're willing to accept our help.
Yes, any help would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. And she gives him a nice squeeze on the shoulder, like, we're here for you, sort of physical gesture. So let's go talk to Horace.
Yes, since we are here.
Yeah, we are on a time crunch now, so let's go talk to Horace. So where's Horace being kept in this building?
He is in the holding cell across the hallway from the courtroom.
Excellent. And we make our way there, and as we do so...
Perfect. That's all I wanted.
So you make your way across the courtroom and into this holding cell area, and this is a very large room. That it looks like it could hold multiple people in this holding cell. It's kind of like a drunk tank. You got multiple people could sit in there. But there's only one towering abomination-looking creature sitting in an iron chair in the middle of the cell. He's bound with no less than a dozen sets of manacles. When you look at him, the stitching holding the pieces of his body together, making him look almost like patchwork. He's so big and built that it's almost as if those wires are stretching. It's almost there to the maximum point of their tension. They couldn't take any more. Like, he can't gain any weight because he'll bust.
So is he taller than Roderick?
He is huge.
A quick question.
Legit huge Pathfinder?
I think he's large size, but he's large.
So he's only 4 squares.
only 4 squares.
Which is, large creatures are also like 8 to 14 feet tall.
Jeez.
And
That's
8
really
times
tall.
the height. 8 times the weight of a medium creature.
Right.
So, important question.
Yes.
Is he covered in hair?
No.
Noted.
He's bald.
He has hair. He has hair on the top of his head that looks like it was a scalp just thrown on with hair.
What color?
Super glued on.
It is black hair.
Does he react when we walk in?
This creature just sits in this chair looking despondent. He looks depressed.
All right, before we get started, first roll of the day, Roderick wants to roll a Knowledge Arcana to see if he knows anything at first blush.
Glance?
About
Just the nature of the creature we're looking at.
Like, who was his maker?
you.
That is a natural 3.
You wouldn't get that from that check. Yeah, you don't really know anything more than you already have about.
Is there a knowledge roll that we could roll?
Not really, just looking at him. What you know is what Roderick has already told you about flesh golems.
Get nothing new specific about this one.
Right.
So,
You would notice just by looking at him, the fact that he looks depressed is rare for a golem. Most golems
non-emotive.
they don't have feelings.
So he's an emo golem?
It shows that he's sentient and almost as if he has a soul.
So, Vivian walks into this room and sees this scene. And she walks up to the bars. Oh dear. That doesn't look very comfortable. Hello. My name is Vivian Heatherton. These are my companions, and we have all volunteered to work with your barrister to help you attain a fair trial.
We all wave.
Any response yet?
He looks up at you, but basically kind of looks at you with the big puppy dog eyes, but he doesn't respond.
Vivian gets very close to tears at this, a little misty-eyed at this, and she's, if you can imagine, she's like got hands on either side of the bars and is kind of like up close to the bars, like reaching, not reaching through them with her arms, but like leaning up against them. I want you to know we're here to help, and if there's any other information that you think we need to do this.
So, are you guilty of any of the things that you have been charged?
I didn't do it.
Any of them?
Didn't do it.
I need you to be more specific. There are 3 charges against you.
Didn't do it.
Vivian?
Sense motive.
Roll it.
Natural 1.
He did it.
All right, we're done here. Our client pleads guilty.
Yeah, that's an 8. So, Vivian... So for the record, we haven't talked about this yet, but like Vivian absolutely doesn't think that he's committed these crimes, or at least not all of them, especially since the only descriptions that really match are mostly the good ones. She's a little worried about the children's one, but she's feeling pro Beast. So, and now that she failed that sense motive, she totally believes him. So she is leaning forward through the bars and she says, I believe you, and I absolutely want to help you. Do you have a name?
He just shakes his head.
Do you want a name?
Would I belong then?
Belong to what?
I know I am not human,
I'm not human. I'm Asimar.
but I want to understand
So do we. What do you want to understand?
humans.
Then by all means you need a name.
Yes. Well, a part of being human is definitely having a name. We've thought of one for you. How does Horus sound?
Horus.
Like the Osirian god?
Horus. Does it sound like me?
I think so.
I mean, most of us don't get to choose our names.
It's true. You could be whatever name you wanted.
I don't know many names.
Horus it is then.
Yes.
So, another important thing about being human. Are you listening? When you're asked 3 separate questions, you don't answer them all as one.
I don't like him.
Yes, no one really does. But he's sometimes good to have around in a fight. Sometimes.
Horace, my name is Zenobia, and I would like to know, who is your maker? Do you know your maker?
At that, he just gets really quiet and he looks down again.
Sense motive. 14.
He gets really quiet and he looks down.
Now, let me ask. Is your reaction because you don't know or because you don't want to tell us?
He shrugs.
Okay.
At this point, he kind of resembles, like, a giant, like, toddler.
That's what I was thinking, like a kid.
Like a baby Huey.
While we're talking about names, my name is your only ticket out of here, so you better start answering
Oh
questions.
my goodness, Roderick, I'm going to kick you out of this room if you don't calm down. Horace, we, as part of trying to help you, we need to ask you some questions. Would that be all right?
He shakes his head.
Okay.
Only you.
I mean, I didn't do anything to offend him. I don't know what his problem is.
Yeah, that's... Can they be in the... Vivian is so flustered by the men in this group.
I was offended. I mean, I'm very offended.
Emily, shut up. Can they be in the room? Or do we need to kick them out?
They can stay.
Okay. She looks back at both of you, and this is like the most stern you've ever seen Vivian. She's like, not one word. Okay? She's pointing at both of you. Not one word. All right. Ignore them. They take some getting used to. Is this okay? Can Zenobia stay?
Yes.
All right. Horace, can you tell me about the other night at the library?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, so you blacked out at some point?
All I remember was I woke up at this library with chains on my hands and being dragged here.
What was the last thing you remember before that?
Before I woke up, I was in the swamp.
In the swamp. Do you know the name of the swamp? Or how close it was to where we are?
No.
Was anyone else there?
No.
Is that where you live?
Yes.
Zenobia leans over to Vivian and says, ask him what he remembers about the 3 crime scenes. Does he remember anything? Has he ever been to these places?
So you live in this swamp. Do you travel a lot outside of it?
I mostly stay in the swamp.
And have you ever met anyone else while you're there?
I have seen the small humans.
Children.
Yes. They were crying and didn't know where they were. So I walked with them to find their home.
That's a very nice thing to do, Horace. That's a good thing. Do you remember ever doing any bad things?
I've done some bad things, but it wasn't my fault.
Okay.
I was trying to understand humans, but they would just yell at me and hurt me. And when I would get angry, they would cease to be.
Ooh.
Yeah, Vivian kind of looks at Zenobia at that one. Do you remember when that happened? Has this happened a lot?
It has not happened recently.
I'm wondering about sense of time. They'd be like, what were you doing 7 months ago?
Yeah. I don't think that would be a good question. Yeah, that's why I said ask about the cities. Has he been to? But it just doesn't seem that he's got that level of awareness.
Okay, so I think at this point, Vivian pauses.
Vivian and I are off whispering in the corner.
Yes, I think... Thank you for answering these questions, Horace. I'll be right back. And I think Vivian brings Zenobia over to the fellas. I think we're going to need to talk to him more, but I don't know if there's much we can ask him about right now.
While you are kind of over there in the corner talking, you can see that he's gotten more contemplative. And then he just starts saying the name Elsa, and he just repeats that name, and he grows more upset as he says it, and he begins to cry.
Vivian rushes back over. Horace, what's wrong?
Elsa was my friend.
Who's Elsa? Where did you meet her?
I think they called it Herstog.
You met Elsa in Herstog?
Yes.
Was she one of the little humans?
Yes.
This is heartbreaking.
She was always nice to me.
And what happened to her?
There was a ghost that stole their souls at night.
Thank you, GM, for giving me this hint. I didn't know how to ask about that.
I found her. She had ceased to be.
Yes.
I took her back to her family, but they yelled at me and tried to hurt me again.
Horace, can you describe this ghost? Why do you say ghost? It looked different than a human?
Yes. I don't know how to put it into words, but it had eyes everywhere.
That sounds very scary. Horace, have you ever heard of a place called Morast?
I do not know Morast.
Just Herstog?
Herstog.
Horace, this is very good information. I want you to think about this ghost some more and think about how to describe it. We need to go now to find some more information to help you.
Will you be back?
I promise.
I hope you come back.
I promise.
And whether you want me or not, I'll be there too.
And they'll be here too, but maybe they'll learn some manners by then, but I really doubt it. So.
Can I call you friend?
Vivian is absolutely brimming with tears. She's like, absolutely. I am your friend, Horace. And I'll be back.
I will see you soon, friend.
Bye-bye, friend. Scene.
As I get emotional doing that.
Oh, this is so down Vivian's alley as a cleric of Shaylin, because they are absolutely about finding the beauty within. So this is totally just a misunderstood creature is absolutely something that Shaylin feels passionate about. It's wanting everyone to see the goodness that's within. And Vivian sees this goodness. She thinks, unless he's a total con.
Which could be.
Yeah.
Which could be. So, a ghost covered in eyes.
Yes, I wonder if there's a roll we can do on that.
Like a religion or
Yeah, I guess I could start with religion.
Planes, probably.
Planes.
I bet it's planes, but Vivian's gonna start with religion. Ooh, 29 knowledge religion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouchies.
I switched my die. It was a good idea. She's become very religious over the past 30-something episodes.
As if the cleric of Shaylin was not religious to begin with.
With the 29, that's really high. You've heard of a wraith-type creature that was kind of covered in these eye-like things all over its body.
With that roll, do I have enough information that I could, we're on our way to a library.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have, enough that I could, cross-reference some materials?
Yeah,
to help
probably.
identify what I need?
Different religious texts and different local legends and things like that.
Cool.
You can probably find there.
You're also on your way to a Roderick.
That's true.
So if he rolls really high, he could smugly tell you all the other information you don't know.
Oh, boy. That's really tempting.
So we'll do this without Roderick.
We've done most of the episode so far.
It's been... I wonder why I've enjoyed this one so much.
It's all about me.
Just kidding. So, as Zenobia and Vivian are turning away from Horace, this kind of clicks to her that she knows she thinks she has an idea about this creature, and it's bad news. So her eyes kind of get really big, and as they're walking out, she kind of glances back at Horace. I think I have an idea of what could cause this issue at Herstog. Let's get outside and discuss. I don't want to do this here.
All right, so you step outside the holding cell, and you're now in the courtroom.
So what did he say?
Vivian repeats everything that was said. We're BFFs now. He mentioned a ghost creature that he said stole the souls of the children at night in Herstog. That's where the 6 children were slain. And he said that this creature was covered in eyes. And I know I've heard something about this. It was and I believe it was some sort of wraith. And it was a wraith, and it was known to steal children. It was some sort of creature that did this, and he was executed.
Well, let's see if that jogs the old memory. Natural 1.
God. You know you defy statistics every week.
It was a squirrel.
Roderick, have you ever heard of anything like this?
No, I'm pretty sure he's making it up.
Well, I don't think he is, Roderick. And we're on our way to... Let's go grab the books and go to the library. I think I know where I can find the information. I remember some of the texts some of the books that were in the Shaylin's library. Hopefully they'll have a couple of copies there. So, we go back to the magistrate's house, grab the books, and head on towards the library.
Okay. Make your way to the university, to the library. Roderick leading the way because this is where he went to school. This is old stomping grounds.
That explains his attitude shift.
Roderick knows that to get to the library, you have to go all the way through the middle of the university, so he knows a back way to go in toward the auditorium, which
That's
is
fun.
in the library, as the auditorium.
Like lectures.
Like a lecture auditorium. Anyway, you make it back around to the back of the library, and from here you can definitely see like a ton of damage has been done back here. This is obviously the way that the beast broke in, because this door, which Roderick remembers once had a very nice, like, superior lock on it, is just kind of held together with a padlock. Right now, a very simple padlock.
Well, that's odd.
And it's kind of dented in and caved. It's very easy to open at this point. So you make your way inside to the library and see shelves of books turned over and tables flipped and a ton of destruction, and an older gentleman standing in the middle of all this chaos. He's picking up books and picking up things, and he notices you, and he looks up and says, "Ah, Roderick, I've been waiting for you, and we'll see you next week."
Well, you must have been waiting a long time.
I mean,
10,000 years, it's such a crick in the neck.